figuring out who will go first in this matchup. That is a huge advantage. Let's take a look and see if we can get a little bit more information. It looks like Cooper will be going first, so already off the bat, assuming Cooper can get Dwebbles into play and attachments down early, swinging first, always what you want to see in this matchup.
And like you had said, Ethan, no Crushing Hammer on the side of Carter here. So as we check out the prizes, I think one of the biggest things here for Cooper is that prizing a Mega Kangaskhan here might actually be a blessing in disguise, because that's actually the last thing you want to start in this matchup. But a couple of key cards over on Carter's side, going to be that Lycia's Appeal and one of those Jumbo Ice Creams to heal off all that damage.
Anticipation is building for what many are calling the craziest match of 2026. Crustle Mirror getting down and getting into play. Let's throw it down to the stage. Get into this last Swiss round. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see our players develop, and it is going to be Mega Kangaskhan, the start for Cooper, drawing some cards, getting that energy attachment onto Dwebble. May not be a lot, but it is necessary.
Well, let's go on ahead, Ethan, and start talking about the differences between the list for both players, as we are going to talk about Carter's turn. And like you had said, who goes first and second is really important because of that Ascension attack on that Dwebble being already able to get into that Crustle and begin the rampage of running out of resources here. Carter is playing 2 copies of Eerie, so we'll be able to at least rip a couple of Crushing Hammers out of the hand for Cooper, but I'm interested to see what other things he's going to be going for here when it's coming to taking some of those item cards away.
Just going to be that attachment for turn and Ascension. No supporter card played for Carter on that turn. May show a bit of weakness. Will be that Team Rocket's Petrol now. Searching the deck for a trainer card. Immediately maybe considering getting that Hero's Cape down onto Dwebble.
Not only Dwebble here, and like we had said, starting the Mega Kangaskhan at this point feels like much more of a liability, but that Team Rocket's Petrol, there are 4 of them in this deck to be utilizing to grab any trainer card out of the deck. And especially with this deck, Ethan, relying on mostly trainer cards to really get your combos off, that feels pretty good. A weird list of different stadiums here for Cooper. He's playing 1 copy of the Team Rockets Factory, and it's really because it synergizes well with itself, right? At least you get to draw a couple more cards. But like you had said, Ethan, that Dwebble, now Crustle, feeling very brave.
Yeah, and while Kangaskhan can be a liability, looking at this list, there's only a 3-3 Crustle line and no way to recover that. So your opponent's gonna have to take 3 prizes that way regardless. The Kangaskhan being in play ends up just not mattering for the prize race.
Feels pretty good as well, but it's very different when you see both lists kind of side to side here on what players are really prioritizing in terms of their supporters. Like we had said, Carter playing Eerie and Cooper is not. And it really is different when things like Lycia's Appeal and Bianca's Devotion are in Carter's list to help heal some of that damage, but they're not in Cooper's from what I can see.
There is the attachment for turn, Spiky Energy coming down into play, and it will just be the pass of the turn. Cooper just amassing such a massive hand size and draws into Crushing Hammer. We'll have to see when Cooper decides to use those cards to disrupt and discard energy from play.
And that is a big part of this matchup, Ethan, because there is no way of recovering the energy here of especially the special energy, so would have Carter really on the back foot at this point.
And this is a huge turn for Cooper, finds the manual switch to move Mega Kangaskhan out of the active spot, starts swinging on turn 3, and Carter is left behind in the dust.
And not only that, right, we'll have to use a resource to heal up this Crustle, but also, in a way, now have to start setting up a Dwebble here on his side.
There is a boss's order, so can bring that Kangaskhan back up into the active spot. And now Carter's going to have to bench a Kangaskhan of his own to play around for potentially losing. We are seeing true Crustle gameplay, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's the only switch for Cooper going down, so we'll have to rely on Lycia's Appeal as well here. But, I mean, it might just come down to also trying to find ways to utilize getting hits in on Mega Kangaskhan. But the problem is that Eerie is going to come in, and where do you even want to kind of divide your Jumbo Ice Creams? I mean, you want to save your Crustle more than your Mega Kangaskhan, surely.
It's a bit of a tough decision. When to pull the trigger on that card could definitely matter. We'll see Hilda, the supporter card, or trainer card rather, of choice from that Petrol. Can still draw 2 cards with that Team Rocket's Factory, and building this hand size up while appealing on the surface does leave you susceptible later on to that Eerie. Those Jumbo Ice Creams, just such a valuable resource to have.
I just love how it's 1 copy of Team Rocket's Factory for both players, and it's certainly getting a ton of mileage here. It's a Petrol once again being played here, eyeing up some future turns here, maybe with, I was about to say, starting to protect this Crustle with the Hero's Cape here to boost up its energy, or its hit points, excuse me.
Put it out of range from a 2-hit KO. Will be that card can now still draw an additional 2 cards with that Team Rocket's Factory, both players putting that card to good use.
Now, I remember many moons ago, Ethan, when it was really kind of this Snorlax block that was really the control deck of choice here. And it came down to finding ways to really get rid of the opponent's hand in many more ways that we know, for example, like Eerie, right? But now you have supporters like Xerosic's Machinations and item cards like Hand Trimmer that can actually really throw a wrench in the side of either player, right? Because that'll actually throw off their tempo.
Hilda, the supporter card of choice, can grab another energy card out of the deck. Considering grabbing another Crustle as well, just to take it out, but looks like it's just going to be that Mist Energy. So bringing it to the hand, powering up Mega Kangaskhan slowly, and while it has been drawing cards, it's slowly presenting itself as a liability and a double-edged sword, so to say.
I mean, Cooper can go on ahead and target the Mega Kangaskhan on Carter's side here, thus forcing him to split resources a little bit with not only the supporters that heal, but also the item cards that do heal as well.
Here we go. Big Eerie for Carter is going to get to look at that hand, that massive hand that Cooper has built up, and discard some resources. Has to debate whether or not Crushing Hammer or Jumbo Ice Cream is a more important resource to get rid of, and it looks like it will be those ice cream cones.
Well, you can only use 1 supporter per turn that heals, but you can use as many item cards as you want. So it seems like Cooper is going to value keeping the damage on his side then. As we go back on over to Cooper's turn here, it's really hard to say. I mean, it's working towards a lot of energy, but I mean, 2 cards here for Run Errand, excuse me.
What do you do? Are you manually going to retreat this Kangaskhan? Your opponent can just play a boss's orders again on the following turn to bring it back up into the active spot. We'll see another Mist Energy played down onto that Pokemon. Gotta keep track of the resource. These players are only playing 12 and 13 energy respectively.
I mean, both players are also playing 4 copies of boss's orders, and still not too many switch supporters, and even Cooper's only switch card, that switch item, is already down here. So it's really just about trying to get rid of the most amount of resources in the most efficient way before your opponent can really turn around and strike while the iron's hot.
Thinking about how to approach this situation. Just going to pass the turn, and valuable time bought for Carter in this spot. There's that 3rd energy card as well. Pokegear 3.0 played for the turn. Finds Petrol and immediately just takes it off the Pokegear. Doesn't even want to see the rest of the cards. We may see that Jumbo Ice Cream start to heal this Pokemon off. Instead, the Hand Trimmer coming down into play, forcing Cooper to discard tons of resources.
Yeah, and this is the 1-of copy of Hand Trimmer, forcing your opponent to discard cards in their hand until they only have 5. So Cooper, who has been conserving so many resources throughout these opening turns of this set, is now going to have to be forced to choose.
We have to make sure there's a 3rd energy on this Pokemon before the Jumbo Ice Cream gets played. I think we're finally understanding that that has to be played. Can't just heal off that Pokemon for 80. It does force both players to discard down to 5, so Carter will have to get rid of some resources, so wants to just play all of these cards from the hand before that hand trimmer, but Carter is not sitting on a large hand size. He's going to just discard one card, while his opponent is going to have to discard a large amount of resources.
And like we had mentioned, it's about what you're discarding here, because there's many singular copies of a card within both of these decks here. Like you had said, Ethan, only one card for Carter that needs to be discarded here. And in terms of that deck out strategy, it's going to be the only option left of Xerosic's Machinations to keep going and trimming this hand down and down.
Interesting choice to discard Crustle from that one card. May just trying to be going all in on a single Crustle in this matchup. Just draw passing back and forth. And now finally going to start to swing into this Pokemon. Very interesting.
The amount of jumbo ice creams that have been used or discarded. We know that Carter targeted it down from Cooper, does have at least one in hand to work with, but it's all about the timing and whether the timing is right. I do think it's very interesting that this deck is one of the only decks right now in format to be playing that Pokemon Center Lady and Bianca's Devotion as well. So weird ways to kind of get around some of these stacking up damage turns from both players.
A little bit of a split sleeve situation, so we'll take care of that, get these cards back in the deck as they properly should be. But Cooper is just down so many resources, and this does become a threat of a deck out war. The biggest advantage at his disposal still has that he's been holding on to those Crushing Hammer cards.
I think the biggest thing as well, Ethan, is that while yes, Crushing Hammer could turn tails, if he's at least able to just get one, that does buy him a turn at least of safety here. So it's just another pass over. Let's see how it goes.
Missed energy for the turn. Trying to just power up some Pokemon. It will be the Mega Kangaskhan attaching an energy and now just passing back. So Carter attacking some turns, not attacking on others. There's the Lycia's Appeal. Will confuse this Mega Kangaskhan and bring it up into the active spot, importantly.
Not enough energy on it to manually retreat as well. It would rely on another switch card here, but that's 250 damage here.
Yeah, no
do you waste the
confusion.
ice cream resource on a Mega Kangaskhan here?
No, absolutely not. You do not care if this Pokemon goes down. You need to win the Crustle War of Attrition 100%. There is Hilda played, and immediately Carter grabs the Growing Grass energy to start building up the HP on this bench Crustle.
And that's what you need to do, right? It feels like Mega Kangaskhan at this point is just going to be the sponge that just soaks damage to give Carter some time to at least get the hit points on the Crustle as high as possible.
There it is, Growing Grass energy attached, boosting 20 more HP to this Pokemon. There's really not much else to do than just accept this Mega Kangaskhan will fall and to try and go after some Pokemon. Here we go, big Crushing Hammer flips. First one is a heads. We'll get rid of that Growing Grass energy. Considering holding on to the other two Crushing Hammer.
Feel like you would need to fire those off rather soon, right? I mean, this Crustle is going to start coming into the active and start attacking very soon. Like you said, this Crustle war is about to begin, but that's 3 prizes for Cooper. And while, yes, in a normal matchup, might feel really good, still now you're kind of on the back foot at this point with what your game plan is going forward.
It's just such an awkward spot for Cooper. You can't afford to retreat, but at the same time, if you don't, you're not pressuring your opponent in any way, shape, or form. And they've discarded so many cards from your hand that you are almost certainly not going to win the deck out war.
And the thing is that Xerosic's Machinations as well, Ethan, is already sitting at the front of the hand for Carter. Just wants to get things going. And like you had said, it might be time for Carter to start attacking here. But there it is, Xerosic's Machinations.
And just picks up his cards, understands that there is no coming back from the amount of resources that have been discarded. An absolute masterclass in Game 1 from Carter on how to play this mirror match.
Hey, I mean, Ethan, I think our last stream match actually went a little bit slower than this one.
Wow.
There's a little bit of depth to this Crustal mirror match. And as we've been highlighting, it's really about just the amount of resources you use and throw away, and all of these supporter cards like Eerie, for example, getting rid of your opportunities to not only heal your Pokemon, but also disrupt the energies that are going on both.
We'll have to see if the narrative stays the same in game number 2. Pablo, this is not a matchup we see often, but when we see mirror matches like this, one player typically comes in with a game plan, and it seems like Carter knew what to do in this spot.
Yeah, it seems like we're seeing like a battle on all fronts. We're seeing hand attack, we're seeing energy attack, we're seeing damage flying all over the place. This has definitely been a lot more exciting than I thought it was going to be. Clearly both players are really investing into a single Crustle, right? And trying to make that survive as long as possible, but being mindful of your resources, knowing when to react, knowing when to push them onto the board, that's going to be the name of the game for this game too.
Well put, Pablo. Both players drawing a basic Pokemon. We'll see prize cards go out if there's anything super impactful for either player. As we get into the second game, we'll see Cooper decides to go first yet again. Does start the Mega Kangaskhan. Both players starting Mega Kangaskhan, and that will change the dynamic of this matchup. We've given some crab facts, but what about some facts about Kangaskhan?
I was just about to ask you the same thing, Ethan, since you're just, you just love crabs so much, you just know so many things about them. But
what can I say? I'm an intellectual at heart.
Well, thankfully for Cooper is at least going to draw into Lily's determination, but I'm not seeing any crabs down for either player at this point. Yeah. So it feels like Carter is going to at least get it started in terms of how he wants to set up these Crustal, using Petrol to find Buddy Buddy Poffin, and there's those Dwebbles finally about to hit the board.
And taking note of that Hero's Cape in the deck, a huge portion considering this. I mean, we've talked about crab facts. There are some Crustal facts. It has legs of enormous strength. It can carry heavy slabs for days, even when it's crossing arid land. So this Crustal, it has a lot on its back. You see when those energies are all attached to Crustal, that's it really carrying its weight right there, Emily.
I cannot believe you knew that, Ethan. See, yesterday, you didn't like when I told you that you actually really do enjoy this deck. And look how positively you're speaking about it now. You even know Crustal facts. Very impressive.
I have to show that this is my love at heart. Listen, I try and deny it sometimes, but you can't hide from the fact that Crustal is just a little guy. He just wants to chill out, and he just wants to wall out. We'll see Crushing Hammer start off. Does discard the spiky energy. We've seen Cooper actively go after that card every time it hits the board. And at least Determination being played as well. Needs to start to get these Pokemon in play as we quickly take a look at Cooper's prize cards. Does have one of those growing energy in the prizes as well as that spiky energy. We've seen a growing energy committed to this active Mega Kangaskhan already.
And the unfortunate part is that it doesn't technically work on a Mega Kangaskhan because Mega Kangaskhan is a colorless type, not a grass type. So really, Cooper kind of forced into trying to beat out Carter here in the energy war.
So 8 cards from the Lily's Determination. Yet to use that run errand ability as well. Will do so now, it seems. 2 more cards. Is there a way to find a Dwebble?
Has to be one. There it is.
There
okay.
is the one Dwebble. Buddy Poffin in the hand as well, but no energy cards. Just going to be a pass of the turn back over. So while Crushing Hammer did buy a turn, was it all for naught as double Crustal comes into play? Spiky energy in the hand. Gonna use the run errand ability first. Finds a couple of energy, and honestly, Carter is kind of fine to just sit back and continue to attach. Even has the handheld fan as well. Could be a key piece in this matchup.
Not only that, Ethan, I mean, even with Cooper's Crushing Hammers here, Carter is technically sent 1 turn behind and still able to find the energy attachment. And granted, while Cooper is able to use the Buddy Buddy Poffin to at least get another Dwebble here, does at least have the growing grass energy, but that handheld fan, like you had mentioned, could be very useful, especially when it comes to the Crustals starting to attack each other, and then just moving all of this energy to the Mega Kangaskhan, which isn't going to be the attacker in this scenario.
One play I was wondering if Cooper would do would be to boss his orders up the Crustle with no energy to stop Mega Kangaskhan from using that ability and slow things down. But it seems that Carter is actively not using Run Aaron and is content holding onto his low hand size.
Not only that, a low hand size full of supporters and not a lot of energy to really work with here. Like we had pointed out, this growing grass energy on Mega Kangaskhan, while yes, it can enable it to attack, you're not going to get the added bonus of HP from that growing grass energy because it's not a grass type. Luckily, though, for Cooper is going to be able to find another growing grass energy for the Pokemon that it's actually meant for.
Energy attachment number 3 onto the bench, Crustle. Considering now whether or not to play this handheld fan down onto either one of these Pokemon. Gonna just get a quick count of the hand size. There goes that handheld fan and a pass of the turn, understanding that Cooper could potentially attack into this Crustle this turn.
That's the thing, right? Want to preserve everything that's going on. But still, Ethan, look at all of these supporters in hands. And while, yes, Crustle is taking the slower pace here, it's all about those resources. We saw how quickly game 1 ended thanks to a 0-6 machination and a hand trimmer back to back here. So Cooper really wants to keep some of these options at least open for the following turns. Boss's orders, though, on the side of Carter.
Does use a Pokegear 3.0. Looking at those top 7 cards. Some sort of semblance of help. There's not much. Hilda is not a bad take. Can continue to flood the board with energy and power up multiple Crustle.
It's the name of the game at this point, Ethan. We'll at least be able to get the energy out of play, but it seems like this Mega Kangaskhan is going to be stuck for the foreseeable future. No things like Latias to manually remove it out of play. Does also play things like that one of Switch that we saw come into play last game. The question is, where do you go from here, especially when you just keep finding Hilda off of your Pokegears?
Doesn't want another one. Just going to play the single Hilda in hand. So interesting choice that Carter has gone about. Not taking supporters into the hand, holding on to pieces for later on. It will just be that growing grass energy, as he seems to be taking a slightly different approach in the second game.
And the thing is here too, Ethan, is that while aggression got Carter really ahead on the first one, Cooper really kind of saw everything kind of fall apart the moment that Carter put his foot on the gas here. So I don't blame him for wanting to try over and over again to just hold on to some of these cards. But still, these crushing hammers now are going to lose their value more and more as Carter is going to keep attaching energy onto this one Crustle.
Cooper just debating how to traverse a scenario like this. Opponent has a lot more of a developed board, not much else happening. It will just be the pass of the turn over to Carter. Dwebble number 3 coming into play, so really wants to go wide with the whole army in this matchup.
This is interesting too, because it's just all the time in the world and still just another pass on over. And now this other Crustle could be getting some love, but no, Carter is still very firm on just keeping this one Crustle ready to go. Doesn't want to go out of resources, right? I think both players are anticipating some sort of 0-6 machinations to get things going.
Passing the turn back and forth. There is the energy on the Mega Kangaskhan now. Crushing Hammer top deck for the turn. We are truly seeing some of the most expert gameplay. Just draw passing back and forth. Both players afraid to take the first step. Crushing Hammer now finally being played. This heads. Getting rid of the growing grass energy on the bench.
Seems like the easiest target as well, especially when HP is the name of the game. A second one as well.
Wow. Just trying to remove all of those grass energy. Carter is only playing 4 copies of that plus the 1 grass energy, so he'll only have these 3 left in the deck to attack with these 3 different Pokemon if he chooses to.
And especially with one of those growing grass energies in the prizes as well. The ones that you're seeing off of the Pokegear are, well, you can't take unless you're playing this Hilda. That's the last one that is going to be available this game for Carter.
Grabbing that growing grass energy yet again. And now now with this handheld fan on the Crustle, we're going to see this have a little bit less HP than possible with there being no Hero's Cape attached. And already a lot of resources being played so far for Carter in this game. Nothing on the healing side, of course, but plenty of energy cards on both players' sides.
I will say one of the ways that Cooper built his deck, there's no Eerie inside of Cooper's list, so those Jumbo Ice Creams at least are safe. Like you had said, Ethan, no Hero's Cape just yet still. Both players just holding off on attacking.
It'll be another manual attachment to the Mega Kangaskhan in the active spot. Now counting the hand size, seeing how many cards are at his disposal. Looks like 15 in the hand for Cooper. Looks like was a supporter card played for Carter. Cooper is fanning this hand out. Was there a Zerosic just played? And then there was, it seems.
No, look at all of the resources going down here. I mean, petrol as well, the easiest way to find some of your outs, but also that one-of copy of Switch here, Ethan. Cooper prioritizing keeping one Lily's Determination here.
We are just seeing hand disruption and hand control be the name of the game in this set. Draw, passing back and forth, finds Eerie and immediately will play that card. Just wants to gain information, but is not getting any value of that. I wonder if Carter was supposed to maybe hold on to that for a little bit longer.
I think as well, Ethan, potentially looking for something along the lines of remaining Crushing Hammers or remaining Jumbo Ice Creams, but Cooper actually playing weirdly to the out of not having any more item cards in hand, so that's information that that supporter is essentially useless for the turn.
Hilda now finally played for Cooper, can search out a special energy card from the deck. It will be Spiky Energy. So this Crustle is now fully powered up on the bench, ready to go. It'll just be Crustle evolved already. Energy attachment, pass of the turn back over. Really not sitting on much. Carter's just being forced to draw a pass, not using this Kangaskhan's ability.
Not only that, but not attacking either. Both players no energy to really go with. Another Crushing Hammer though, Ethan.
This would be a big flip. We're 2 for 2 on Crushing Hammer already. And another Heads gets rid of another Growing Grass energy. Carter, I believe, is down now 3 of those energy cards, and there's a Growing Grass energy in the prizes, meaning we only have this last grass energy available. We have to go all in on this Crustle, and we don't have a Hero's Cape attached to it.
Yeah, definitely not. Just trying to preserve the other Crustle there, and that has no energy on it. So now it's back on over to Cooper's side here, where he does have his Erosic's Machinations. Might be trying to give Carter a taste of his own medicine soon enough here.
What are these players looking for? That is the question. Plenty of healing resources still, but Carter did play that Eerie and didn't get much effect off of that card. Passing back and forth. Who will strike first in terms of disruption? The anticipation is building.
Not only disruption, but also, Ethan, attacking at this point. I mean, granted, there's multiple ways to win a game of the Pokemon trading card game through prize cards and stuff, but, you know, decking your opponent out, very much a great option, but still, I mean, it might finally be time for some superb scissors that get some energy on the board. There's the boss's orders.
Going aggressive after Crustle, hitting for 120 damage. Now with that Spiky Energy just out of range and immediately plays that Jumbo Ice Cream. Is there a way to build the HP back up? Potentially a boss's orders being played to stall out more turns of this game.
And not only that, multiple energy has gone down because of the manual retreat from the Mega Kangaskhan, plus the amount of disruption that Carter has seen because of those Crushing Hammers as well, could be going down a line where there won't actually be any viable attackers if this Crustle with all of the energy does go down.
Yeah, boss's orders just bringing this Kangaskhan back into the active spot. Will Cooper now be looking to buy more time to build up a board?
see whichever way he wants to handle it as well. Here's the Petrol.
Carter has not played a switch yet and is immediately going to just keep swinging into this Crustle to try and take prizes.
This is kind of what you're forced into at this point when your back is against the wall, thanks to having Crushing Hammer take out all of your growing grass energy. I mean, that is a great play from Cooper at this point. That might just want to protect the Crustle, but like you had said, Ethan, I mean, Jumbo Ice Cream is an immediate response, and Erie didn't find any of those Jumbo Ice Creams when Carter played it a couple turns ago.
Another Jumbo Ice Cream Cone, and this Crustle is now in range of being KO'd. Carter is going to have no way to attack for the rest of the game.
Especially because it's just going to be targeting down to and fro, and even one more boss's orders.
He chooses to not take a KO on this active. If he had KO'd this Crustle, there would be no way outside of deck out for Carter to win this game.
Still has time, though. I mean, like you had said, all those growing grass energies are now down, so maybe not too fussed here. But there's that Pokemon Center lady healing a little bit of damage at least to try and get it going, and the Community Center as well. That's going to heal just 10 damage.
It's slowly building up. Cooper does still have access to the Zerosic in his hand. We'll now do a quick count of the deck, see how many cards are left. 3, 6, it looks like 12 or so cards remaining. Just gonna slam down the Zerosic. Now has to consider which pieces to keep in the hand.
Well, I have a feeling it's going to be a nice, flavorful treat that Carter wants to keep at this point. Because Cooper does not play Erie, those Jumbo Ice Creams are at least going to be a little bit safe here, but the problem is, Ethan, like we had talked about, do you prioritize keeping all of the Jumbo Ice Creams, or at least an energy if you want to keep some sort of attacking going, but actually giving away all of the ice creams and just in favor of Gus for boss's orders?
We cannot attack for the rest of the game. We have to. Wow. We should not even have been able to have this option last turn. Our Crustle should have been knocked out, but since it's not, we have to assume the only way to win this game is going to be to stall Mega Kangaskhan in the active spot. Bring it up with boss over and over and over again and hope that our opponent does not have enough energy to retreat for the times that we need it to.
Now it is up to Carter at this point to find a way back into this match, but Cooper seems to now have just this wild chokehold on at least this game number 2.
And Cooper's still just playing cards from his hand. These are more resources that could come back to matter later on in the game. Sure, you're healing, but your opponent's not putting attacking pressure on your board.
Just a draw pass back and forth. I mean, what do you do if you're Carter?
The question may come down to who has more Lily left in deck, and interestingly enough for Cooper, I wouldn't be against him taking prize cards so that he doesn't have to draw 8 cards off this Lily's Determination.
That's very fair, Ethan, but unfortunately it is not going to be that case.
What could Cooper possibly be looking for?
I mean, it could be something along the lines of finding more ways to switch in and out of this Kangaskhan. That Lycia's Appeal has not been used yet, or even a Buddy Buddy Poffin to find another Dwebble to get something started.
Choosing to not attack into this Mega Kangaskhan for the last few turns. It seems that there's a huge advantage in terms of cards in hand and in deck. Does Carter have a way to replenish more thoroughly? Carter's spreading the discard pile out. Does see that 3 of those growing grass energy are down. May just be trying to buy time off the clock to force a tie in this match. That seems to be the best conclusion.
All right, 17 minutes left, and believe it or not, plenty of ways to keep this game number 2 going until we hit that point, Ethan.
And finally, Crustle's going to start swinging to attack into Mega Kangaskhan and wants to eventually take those prize cards. So once again, Lily's Determination is a better replenisher of resources in the hand. Top deck's Erie for the turn. Now, Carter also having 2 Lily prized is terrible in this spot. He cannot replenish. Cooper's going to take a knockout on this Mega Kangaskhan. Crustle will come up into the active spot, but Carter is essentially out of options. He has a Lily's Determination, but it's not going to replenish him for long enough. There's really no way for him to win this game.
And will be able to at least shuffle some of these cards back into the deck at this point, but a lot of these supporters that Carter was using to try and get a one-up on Cooper are now officially down. Does, I believe, still have one Eerie at least left,
Eerie
but that
in the
one
deck,
Poppy.
and one more Lily, since there is a Lily in the, or 2 Lilies prize, and we are just picking cards up and going to game number 3. I don't know what we just watched, but that was Crustle gameplay, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that is the thing. The different routes that you can take to get things going feels like a strange way to try and force your opponent into weird situations. The amount of times, Ethan, that you said, I'm just surprised there's no attack yet. I mean, that's the thing with the Pokemon trading card game. There are different win conditions to go, and it feels like a well-timed Zerosix can absolutely do it. But if you run out of ways to replenish the cards in the deck out is certainly possible.
I need some crab facts after that.
Oh,
Pablo,
boy.
what do you got for me?
Even, I mean, according to official Pokemon lore, Crustle fight viciously when competing for territory. And the one whose boulder is broken is the loser of the battle. But I'm not seeing any boulders being broken in today's game. What is happening? Why did we not take a knockout when we could on that Crustle and just take the 6 prizes? I am very puzzled at what we are seeing right now.
There is truly a dynamic going on in this match that is incomprehensible. There is a secret language between these 2 Crustle players, and we cannot understand what is going on. We'll do our best to break it down, but this set has been one of the sets of all time, it seems.
Many intricacies, as you've been pointing out, Ethan, that sometimes it is better to just pass back and forth, but still well-timed supporter cards, hand trimmers as well, leading our players to going to a game number 3. No IDs here because still, I mean, both of these players, 901, just want to get ever so closer to that asymmetrical top cut.
Look, you never know what can happen to Pokemon TCG. Maybe there's Webble Pass for a couple of turns with no energy cards, and Cooper or Carter are able to pull out a quick win. Time is winding down very quickly, though. 14 minutes and change remaining. We'll have to see if these players have one final trick up their shell.
I feel like I'm surrounded by people who love the crab facts.
You have to understand, there is a dynasty to the crab facts. There is some lore. There's some crazy lore behind the crab facts.
Crab facts. Oh my goodness.
And it seems like just yesterday, Crabominable was shaping up its impact on the metagame, and it's now Crustle instead, who has been passed the torch as we get into this 3rd game.
See if either player are going to start this Mega Kangaskhan here, because I do believe it is preferential in this matchup to go second, because you want to get to your Crustle as quickly as possible here. Starting the Psyduck, that's not what Cooper wants to see at all.
No, he needs to find some Pokemon pretty quickly in this spot. To see how things play out. Needs to get down Crustle, but it's no Mega Kangaskhan, which can be a liability in this matchup. And I wonder if Cooper even chose to start Psyduck over that Pokemon just to avoid it being in play. Take a look at the prize cards. Growing Grass Energy again for Carter in the prizes. There's a Crushing Hammer for Cooper, but nothing else too detrimental besides, you know, maybe that ice cream cone for Carter. If we ever see these Crustle attack into each other, I don't know if there will be any attacks announced this set.
Well, there's certainly no Dwebbles in the hand for Cooper here, so that's time now ticking down for him. Might just have to be a Crushing Hammer, hope it hits heads, but no, it's a pass back on over to Carter.
Pass.
What?
Is there a basic Pokemon?
No!
Oh, there's Petrol. Okay. all right. We got to hold our horses here a little bit. I can't make another pun. It's too early in the morning, ladies and gentlemen.
A horse is not a crab, Ethan.
No, it's not. It's not. Is there a Buddy Poffin? It's prized? Okay, there is another one there. So can choose to get Dwebble down and into play. And all of a sudden we have a game, ladies and gentlemen.
And not only that, Cooper has plenty of energy in the hand as well. You can retreat this Psyduck and then use Ascension to get into at least that Crustle. And there you go, a Growing Grass Energy. And now here we go, Cooper finally going to find this Crustle and get started.
This board is looking very solid. No Mega Kangaskhan, no liability, and even has a Pokegear for next turn to potentially dig through the deck and find some resources. Carter will start things off this turn with Petrol. immediately looking to mirror Cooper's start with a buddy puff and instead just going for the one Dwebble strategy. So constantly each game in this set, Carter has been going back and forth on his approach. I think he understands that with the crushing hammer, it's just so hard to attack with multiple Crustle in a spot where most likely one or two of your growing grass energy will be discarded.
You can't ask for anything more aside from that growing grass energy.
Speaking of which, okay, finally a Tails from Cooper. He was very successful on crushing hammer during the last set. Now all of a sudden, not going so well for him, but he'll still have Hilda to back this up, slowly powering up Crustle with yet another growing grass energy.
One of the biggest things here, Ethan, as well, is both players have had access to their Hero's Cape, both, or now all 3 games. So it's about the time on where you're going to attach that to, but still, like you had said, growing grass energy onto this Crustle, more and more hit points are being stacked on.
We're now seeing Carter use that run errand ability. Hero's Cape down onto Dwebble. Crustle now evolved and into play, and spiky energy coming down. Will Carter be going aggressive with there being such little time on the clock?
I mean, both of these players don't want to ID at this phase. It is going to be a matter of getting into asymmetrical cuts or not. Still both, of course, undefeated as well.
Does find Lily's determination off the Pokegear 3.0. Attaching the mist energy and playing that supporter card, so both players really not too worried about the deck out with there being just 10 minutes left on the clock. Want to get aggressive and involved with Crustle.
All 4 Lily's determinations available for both players as well, so if it does come down to some of these big Xerosic machinations or these hand trimmers, at least both players will still be able to at least put some cards back into the deck thanks to Lily's determination.
No Hero's Cape yet for Cooper. Choosing to get aggressive, though. Swinging into Mega Kangaskhan, 120 damage, but does take the 20 off spiky energy. I have to wonder if that damage could come back to bite him later on.
And that's really important on why Mega Kangaskhan, while yes, is a liability in this matchup, can at least stack these spiky energies to kind of push them back onto Crustle.
There is the Petrol, which will almost certainly grab the Hero's Cape out of the deck, buffing the HP on that Crustle in the active spot. Now, all of a sudden, it seems that both players will try and play this matchup the good old-fashioned way, revolving around ice cream and healing.
And attach passing, really. I mean, it comes down to a point where you want to get started, but like you had said, Ethan, back on over into Carter's turn. There's the energy, the boss's orders.
Just trying to take prize card that seems Psyduck goes down. And it's now Crustle up against the world for Cooper, but that seems to be the best position in a matchup like this. You have nothing that can get trapped on the bench with boss's orders, and you can pretty much just start to attack. Now can Cooper find a boss of himself to start attacking into this Pokemon? We're just going to see even more spiky energy put on, and it seems that both the players are just investing into their one Pokemon. It's almost like a boss raid, it seems.
Yeah.
1 versus 1 Pokemon, whose Crustle will be the biggest crab of them all.
And it's not just that, right, Ethan? Count the spiky energy on the Crustles as well, because every single time one of them attack, those damage counters are going to be flying on to the other one. So it's going to be about this healing resource management here.
Yeah. There is the pass for turn now. Run errand ability used. Does find Pokegear 3.0. What card could Carter possibly be looking for? There's the Eerie. That could be one of them. And plays it down, but no ice cream cone. It's just the switch in hand, not getting the value that Carter was looking for.
Second time that Carter has gone for that play, and Cooper actually playing pretty decently around it, whether for better or for worse, realistically, when you think about it.
And here we go, manually retreating this Mega Kangaskhan after the information. 120 damage done. And top decks for turn the Petrol that can find the Jumbo Ice Cream Cone to heal this Pokemon.
And not only that, but the growing grass energy as well. So that is 3 out of 4 committed already for Cooper here.
And now we are finally seeing attacks back and forth. Whoever's Crustle will emerge victorious seems to be the possible match decider between both players.
And the thing is, once again, these players just don't want to take an ID. They want to just win the match. The 0-6 Machinations has been drawn, Ethan. That could be another win condition here.
Later on could definitely matter. There it is. Superb Scissors, 120, and just immediately
Whoa,
slams double ice cream cone, heals off the Crustle completely, and we'll see Ultra Ball played, thins the hand out, just wants to use this Lily's Determination to try and find as many useful cards as possible.
Carter's got to take the next opportunity to fix this Crustle because it's like going down in a diagonal shape and you don't want to get it over a couple of cards, especially when you have so many cards attached to said Crustle here. But 6 big cards here, finds his 0-6 Machinations of his own, but more importantly, the growing grass energy going on the Mega Kangaskhan, Ethan?
Just wants to prevent it from being trapped in the active spot to attack over and over again. What does Cooper have? There's another jumbo ice cream cone that would heal this Pokemon out of range. We're going to see Petrol be used first. So there is ice cream cone number 2 grabbed. We're going to have to start to do some math with the spiky energy to see how the math pans out. Cooper's going to heal up to 190 HP, so that will be 2 attacks from the Superb Scissors, plus the spiky energy is still 2 attacks, but then how does that next ice cream cone come into impact? So much up and down with the damage and healing.
And the thing with the ice cream cones, right, is that this is what Carter was trying to find with the Eerie and unfortunately wasn't able to. A Petrol played on Carter's side. What can you imagine Carter might be trying to find here? Then another one of his jumbo ice creams. So now here's the thing, Ethan. While yes, it is getting a little bit faster and more exciting, these are a lot of these resources now going down. If you check Carter's prize cards, that jumbo ice cream is now sitting in the prizes.
And that's the last jumbo ice cream being played. There are no more left, so Carter cannot heal this Pokemon. However, it is out of a 2-hit KO range. Second spiky energy on the active, 120 damage with the Superb Scissors. And this will be the huge turn for Cooper, excuse me. Can he find the KO on this active? No. But can he heal it out of range? Potentially. Is there another ice cream cone? No, gonna just play Boss's Orders onto this bench Pokemon. And now benching a bunch of liabilities. We have low time on the clock, so I'm not sure how much it will matter. All of a sudden, Kangaskhan uses that run errand, and Hilda guarantees the attachment, meaning that Mega Kangaskhan can move out of the active spot. Crustle will take down Cooper's Crustle. Close, but actually not quite. There's 10 damage off. Every math playing in and out. So much damage, and a crushing hammer heads means this Kangaskhan still cannot move out of the active spot.
And not just that, I mean, at that point, right, the Hilda was used only to just find another energy, and now Carter doesn't have another reliable way of getting it into play here. Lily's Determination, though, for Cooper.
Still looking for an ice cream cone to heal this Crustle out of range. It already will survive another attack. 130 HP. How many ice cream cones have been played for Cooper? I believe he's only played 2 so far. There's another one hand. No, he's down 3 of those ice creams. So this last ice cream honestly doesn't make a huge difference since you're still in a 2-hit KO range. Can Cooper find a way to power up this other Crustle? It's just so hard with so many growing grass energy down.
Might have to use this Pokegear to find another way of getting energy.
And now we're just draw passing back and forth. Cannot afford to do anything else. There are 3 minutes on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your seats.
Still though, both players, I mean, there are options. I mean, 0-6 was drawn for both players at some point. Hand Trimmer is still very much available.
Yeah, but Hand Trimmer hurts both players. They both have large hand sizes, so it essentially just speeds the game up. And if you're in either player's shoes in an uncertain spot, do you want to speed up the game and risk losing this match instead of gaining that 1 match point?
And especially because Carter has that last jumbo ice cream prize here too. Does he want to at least get aggressive? But there it is, my goodness.
Wow, slams down the 0-6 Machinations. Cooper is gonna be forced to discard a whole bunch of resources attached to the active, pass things over. And here we go, we are drawing back and forth. What is Carter still looking for in this spot? Boss's Orders, we're going for a complete stall play, ladies and gentlemen. Cooper is going to try and slowly take prize cards and see if he can close this game out.
This is so dangerous at this point. I mean, the Mega Kangaskhan could go down next turn, Ethan.
It goes down, but how close is that getting to Carter closing the game out? Does he think this Crustle can get through all 3 of the Pokemon in play? Potentially so.
Feels really weird that Lysia's Appeal is an option to at least get the Crustle up into the active and make it confused. But I mean, Ethan, how many cards are left in Cooper's deck at this point?
We are just going back and forth, draw passing. Does Cooper have any way to shuffle the hand back into the deck? We're seeing Hyper Potion get played. That will heal the Crustle almost out of range now. Just draw passing. It may come down to a deck out. There's 90 seconds on the clock. Does Cooper have a way to do it? He does not! He can't recycle his energy into his hand. And after all of that back and forth, Carter Malnaik is going to win this set and advance to 10-0-1.
My goodness, truly a battle of resources going down. And the thing is, Ethan, with the Crustle Mirror, you don't even truly get to see all of the fun techs that both of these players